Alright, so in today's video, what we're going to be discussing is Shoko, Honored One Gojo, the overall state of mono green, and if they're summon worthy now that we've had the opportunity to use both of them. For the most part, we knew most of Shoko's kit. The only thing that really changed was her heals. How her heals worked is not based off of her Jujutsu stat. It is in fact based off of HP percent total, so it does work differently than we initially thought, but the rest is pretty much the same. Now, I've been able to use Shoko. Very good sweep unit, very good unit for tower, does not even need Honored One Gojo to really work well. So let's give my honest thoughts, right? I've seen a lot of discourse about Shoko, and I've seen a lot of people talking, and obviously I used her for about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours at this point. And I saw some other gameplay and some other people talk about Shoko being used in some of the higher floors, and let's go over why I think she is really good. Now let's get this out of the way right away. Shoko or Honored One Gojo? That is like the big discussion right now, and if you have to pick one of the two, I would say Shoko. Now the main reason is because Shoko is going to work with a bunch of other units, and I feel like Honored One Gojo for some people. Now listen, you could use Honored One Gojo at 0 dupes. However, most people in this game are not going to be like, I would say at that level to like maybe masterfully use them at dupe 0. Like, you could definitely do it. However, it's going to require a lot of setup, right? Where Shoko dupe 0 works just fine, okay? And why that works is because nothing is reliant on her stats, and her HP, it's 19k, sure, but she's gonna get 220% heals. She's gonna have stealth for maybe 10 turns out of the 30. Motherfucker's not getting attacked, and then she has a fucking insane skill 3 that's over a 50% heal total. So it's just absolutely insane how much healing she's doing for herself also, and also making sure she's not getting targeted, especially for combo with Saki. Now, obviously, no matter which one you're using, the thing is, now we are entering a meta where no matter who it is, you're going to have to use them on the mono color. And one of the main reasons is this. So the thing is that, I mean, I've discussed this, but I need to reinforce this point, right? Above floor 70, at the start of the turn, decreases all non-red units ultimate gauge, right? So you're not getting your ult, right? Above 70, you're not getting your ult. And I do believe that they also make it so, like, you're gonna pretty much get one-tapped, right? You just get one-tapped, because, like, if you're not yellow on this floor, you're just getting one tap. 200% increase, like, that's going to be a lot of damage. So that's the main thing, where it's pretty much set up to where non-mono units do not work above 70, which is going to be the trend moving forward. So what this means is that we are now in the meta where these two units are basically the best together. If you have both Shoko and Gojo, that's the best case. Like, honestly, if you could only pull one, it's Shoko, but if you could get both, you're going to get both because they are so good together. It's not even funny. Okay, now there's a couple of reasons. Number one, Shoko has stealth, which gives Gojo a higher chance of countering, and also Gojo's not really going to die, so that's two units that are going to be pretty low on death, so it's basically filling up the other two slots. And then she also works very well with Ghetto, so all three of them work very well together. And then you could just slot in Saki, right? So a lot of these floors are going to be very good like that. Now, the thing is that Gojo, for example, like, people are like, oh, but like, well, how do I explain this? People like when units are used on more floors, like, for example, Sukuna being able to work type disadvantage. The thing with Gojo is while he can cheese 2 of the floors, that will still take good units. Like, you still have to have good units. Like, the Sukuna in the clip I showed was dupe 5. That's the only reason he was really able to clear, right? So Gojo, there's one floor he can't work on because it's taijutsu, it's only taijutsu units that work. So in that vein, Shoko is going to work better than Gojo in that instance. Now, why I think Shoko is better overall, I've said this before, it's because she's a support. Supports don't get buffed as much, where also there's no, like, green stat support, and they're not going to make one for a fucking while, right? So in my opinion, it's just go for Shoko and then let the units slowly catch up, right? That's basically how I think you should kind of handle this. And yeah, that's overall my opinions on how you should approach that. That is pretty much it. I fully believe in that. I don't think Honored One is a necessity. Is he amazing? Hell yeah. Necessity? Nah, no, not really. Now with Shoko, the thing is, I would say she's probably a little better than Gojo, and the main reason is because she works with everyone. First of all, like where's Shoko? It's absolutely insane just how good these buffs are. Because the main thing is you're never running out, right? You're basically like up 5 turns out of 6 for buffs, and the main reason. Well, maybe like 4 out of 6. And why this is good is because she's gonna have her buff, and it only takes 3 turns, so maxing out her buff is easier. But then her ult also gives the same buff, which then leads you to being able to save cursed energy and basically be positive 30 cursed energy. But then her skill 1 gives her extra CE, and in the showcase that I did, you're never running out of cursed energy. So personally, if you have to choose one of the two, yeah, it's going to be Shoko. And one of the main reasons is also because of the recent standard banner update, which we're going to check in the exchange shop because there is right now something right here, right? So all of these units are now on the standard banner, and like for example, Yuji works great, right? Where like Nanami 2, Hollow Purple, right? You could use Ghetto and Shoko, even Saki, right? Especially Saki, if anything. Saki is definitely one of the top picks with Shoko because you're able to keep Saki just alive enough while making sure everyone else gets healed by like the little, well, her ult heals enough, but it's not crazy heals to where Saki's going to keep getting targeted and be low enough to get her damage increases. So I just think it works great. And then what if Maki gets her SP buff, which I think she's up for one, because if this ult goes to like 1500, immediately Maki's like way better. Okay, so you know there's a lot of stuff they could do with green, and I'd say like right now we're in a very good spot. But yeah, no, if you could get both, you get both. However, the only thing is I would say that restrain yourself to one for multiple reasons. The first reason, we're probably getting a red Ghetto, and it could also be from the Toji fight. There's another attack, there's multiple other attacks that he does, so I could see us getting another Teen Ghetto. Also, they confirmed part 3, which I'm going to make a video on. They confirmed a part 3, so it's going to happen. And the main reason why I say wait for Ghetto is because there's a difference between the green floors and the red floors, where the green floors are much easier, you could say. On floor 80, it's pretty much a necessity that you need dupe 1 Yuta and dupe 1 Domain Gojo with the dupe 5 Nobara to clear. Right now, that is the bare minimum, and that's the only way that the JP players are clearing. Now, will there be other ways? Yes, with this Ghetto, right? This Ghetto is going to make it way easier because right now, guys, they are running red Nanami. Red fucking SR Nanami just to be able to do some extra damage. So instead of Nanami, imagine you're going to have another set of multiplicative buffs because Domain Gojo is already doing damage increase. So instead, you're going to have another set of multiplicative buffs if they release a stat debuff for Ghetto, because right now there's no red stat debuffer that's good because Inumaki just does not cut it, especially because he's on. Fucking shitty ass unit. So this guy being a stat debuffer, he could maybe be even AoE this time, and it would be really, really good. You have to understand like these multiplicative buffs, especially if the red Ghetto is doing like 160 to 200% stat debuff while being able to do damage, it would make floor 80 so much easier. So I think maybe keeping a slot open for Ghetto would be good, but hey, best case scenario, you get all 3. But then the problem comes in, second ANNI is going to be the merging celebration for Global and JP, where it's going to be in sync. And then it's like, they're for sure going to bring out the big guns. I could see Fuga Sukuna. I could see Maharaga. I could see Jogo, I guess. I could also see Toji maybe, but I feel like Toji's going to come up before. I could see 0.2 Domain Gojo, right? All of these things could happen, and we have to consider that when we're summoning, because we don't get enough cubes to really go crazy. So out of the 3 right now, like if I were to say you only summon on 1 and we consider red Ghetto would be good in this hypothetical instance, I'd say go for red Ghetto, right? Now the thing is, if you could get 2 of the 3, I'd say red Ghetto and Shoko. I just think Shoko long term is way better, but of course if you want honored one, get honored one. But if you're like trying to maximize everything, it would be Ghetto, Shoko, Gojo, right? That's basically how I see it. And I'm not saying Gojo's bad. Like, Gojo is still top 5. I just think, like, in terms of value, red Ghetto would provide much more to your account. But that's over how it is right now. I just don't see them doing another green support for a while. And supports are just usually that good. And, dude, they cooked with her. They absolutely cooked with her. I tried her with Muta. I tried her with Gojo. And they cooked. And good for you. Muta is going to be on standard probably in the next batch. Yeah, he should be the next batch. So, when would that be? I think this standard banner update should be about July. I would say maybe like in November, Muta is going to be on standard. So that should be good. And of course, the thing is, especially for free-to-plays, like the way I'm talking right now, the problem with you free-to-plays is that you're not really going to be able to finish tower. Like, you're not finishing tower, right? Tower is very difficult. I'm going to probably get to 70 by this week, but like tower is difficult. If you don't have like your blue Miwa, your green Saki, you're not going to finish it. So even in the first month, you are not finishing that shit. You're going to have to wait, first of all, at least like on like most people are gonna wait till the anniversary units, and then even then you're gonna have to wait till you get like your Sakis, your Blue Miwas, right? Units like that, and then also more SP buffs to come out to really push tower, because the first month of tower you ain't finishing it as a free to play. You ain't even getting to 70. Okay, so don't expect to get that far, because it is, unfortunately, the 300 cubes is underselling it by at least 2 times. I would say this should be at least 600 per floor. That would make way more sense, right? Being able to get 12,000 cubes for maybe like, I would say over 100 hours total to complete. Like, unless you're really getting this first try, unless you are checking all the guides out and have the perfect setups, perfect unit duped out, perfect investment on all the units with the recollection bits too, like, you're not going to be finishing this first try or even the 10th try, right? So making sure to keep your expectations in check is important, but you will probably need a Gojo, Shoko, or the Ghetto for sure, like especially for the respective colors. I just think Shoko is going to be super good, but I do think you can make the argument for Gojo. I just think having him at dupe 1 is just going to be more realistic, right? I'm not saying you can't have him at dupe 0, but it's the same thing. Like, you could use Jogo, but will you? Right? That's the main thing. Like, I'm going to make another video on that too. But that's going to be it for now. I just wanted to give my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Like if you haven't yet. Subscribe. I think it should be like over here, the subscribe button. I could be wrong. I could look like an idiot, but it should be somewhere here. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.